I know you guys want to see some crazy heavy lifting, which is cool, you know, but I'm a bodybuilder, so I have to use these as a tool.
You mean there's not a bench press on stage?
Exactly. They're not gonna ask you on the questionnaire.
We don't have to squat on stage.
Yeah. How much do you squat?
It looks like I squat a lot. That's what matters.
That's all
right?
that matters. Yeah. Talking about, you know, getting ready for the Olympia and stuff like that, getting back in high gear. After the California Pro, of course, you take that little bit of time to kind of reverse and get back to, you know, a normal little routine that's not completely centered around a prep, because
healthy balance of water in your body.
Yeah.
Get rid of that rebound.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. Like you said, a rebound, you know, a lot of people don't realize, you know, it's good to have those foods that you want, all those sheets, the pizza and all that stuff after a show. But what does come with that is a lot of unwanted water retention. You know, your ability to put on muscle is pretty critical for those first few weeks after a show. So a lot of competitors realize after that time competing and you get back in the gym, you get a crazy pump. And like Hunter said, you get that good water balance going back in, you're not depleted, you're not dehydrated. So your body actually performs really well when it comes to putting on some additional muscle in that time frame. But after that, you know, like I said, depending on how far your show is spaced apart, we had, was it 16 weeks or 17 weeks or something like that after California Pro was over. So that gave me about 3-4 weeks to kind of just
long enough to where it's going to be the same prep, but just short enough to where there's no off season.
Exactly. So so like he said, no off season, because you know it's you stay.
Not enough time to grow. You might as well stay sharp and just you know, grow a little bit off that rebound.
Yeah.
I've always kind of thought, you know, like whenever you come off a show, you're like a sponge that's been completely squeezed out, and you know, after you get your day or two of eating like an asshole out of the way, like squeeze the sponge and fill it up with good stuff. Don't throw it in like lard. Like throw it in good food and let the sponge soak it up.
A free motion chest fly machine. It can be used for a couple different things, right? Normally I'll use it if I want to target an incline, but as of late, like I said, when me and Hunter reconnected, he actually showed me a different way to use this, because my arms are a little bit longer, and because this doesn't allow for a lot of room to kind of stretch, we kind of adapted it in a way to where you can use it as a press and it just be just as effective as starting with a chest press. So instead of starting with a chest press like normal, we're gonna go ahead and start with this chest fly, and then we'll get into some pressing after that, because the flies allow you a good stretch to open up, get some blood flowing.
And so you'll see him when he's doing them. It's kind of like a hybrid between a press and a fly. So he'll get the you know, the hinging for the fly, but at the top we'll really get that extension and the good squeeze. So that, and the fact that we're not stabilizing any kind of free weight or dumbbells in his first motion of the day, it's a good motion for him to get nice and warm with.
All right, guys, so now we're gonna go to some incline press. This is pretty much my favorite chest exercise, so Hunter couldn't wait to throw me under the bus with this one. I know you guys want to see some crazy heavy lifting, which is cool, you know, but I'm a bodybuilder, so I have to use these as a tool.
You mean there's not a bench press on stage?
Exactly. They're not gonna ask you on the questionnaire.
We don't have to squat on stage.
Yeah. How much do you squat?
It looks like I squat a lot. That's what matters.
That's all that matters. Yeah.
Pat doesn't need elbow sleeves. Pat has built-in air ride from his 24-inch arms. Wide, man. You'll see him do these. You'll see him how, even at the top, when he's getting that pinch, his chest is big. He's not allowing himself to come in and allow his front delts and his biceps to take over. He's keeping the tension on his chest the whole time. attention to like in the hole. Like don't let the humerus get like parallel with the ground. Just a cue. And so this is gonna be his top set on this exercise, and you know, one of the cool things that we're able to do with him, you know, keep the weight a little lighter, but still really take the sets where we want to. Do a rest pause right now, so you hit the weights as many times as he's gonna get him for a set, sets him down, takes 10 breaths, and then after those 10 breaths, it's time to go again. So that first set, I think he got around 10 reps. So anything after those first 10 reps is bonus that we get from that rest pause you just took. Come on, let's go to work.
All right, brother.
One or two more good ones. Up, yes sir. Last one. Drive. Good, Pat. All right, 10 breaths. You know, obviously he's increasing the time under tension with that pause, but something else he's doing with that pause is he's absolutely killing all stored momentum of energy in the muscles. So he is pressing it from a dead stop every time. It's not, he's sitting in the hole for like 3 seconds or something like that. He's just pausing long enough to kill that momentum and truly press from a dead stop, keeping the tension out the whole time. Another way to really increase the intensity of the set.
It's tough, guys, trust me, because I hadn't done this before he came back, and it's not easy.
Come on, let's go. Good. This is where it counts. This is where it counts. Good. Kill the momentum and press. Don't have to sit in the hole.
Keep going?
Yep, go. Good. Good. Come on, Pat. Up. Go. One more good one. Last one, best one. Up, up, up. There it is. That's it. So, that 10 rep set with the 105 just turned into, I think, like a 19 or 21 or something like that rep set. We'd have to go back to instant replay to look, but basically just hit double the amount of reps for his top set. So great way to increase the intensity, the rest pause sets. Something I like to do a lot too now, just to keep, like I said, the weights a little lower while keeping the intensity up. Good set, brother.
Oh yeah, bro. Now we're gonna do hammer strength, flat press. So this is what I was telling you earlier, the benefit about having someone else to come in and train with you, or, you know, get some work in with you, is because you're not doing the same thing, the same pattern. And as you guys know from previous videos I've had before, I'm always saying press, fly, press, fly. So this time we're going from a press to another press. Normally the weight would be a little lighter than this, but he obviously ran me through a pretty strong set over there, so the blood's already good and going. So I'm just gonna start with 2 plates on each side, and we're gonna work those high reps, high volume, and then kind of based on what he sees or what he says, we'll determine if we're gonna do rest pause on this one as well. And speaking in terms of intensity, like Hunter said earlier, you know, you don't wanna waste, you wanna train like a sprinter, you know, kind of, the intensity has to be higher. You don't really wanna train like an endurance runner. And a good comparison I always make is, you know, endurance runners are always gonna tend to be a little less muscular because they're running for long distances, where your sprinters are gonna be more muscular because it's short bursts. So when you're lifting, you don't wanna burn that unnecessary energy on lighter weight. I mean, it will be completely pointless to start with 90 pounds on this exercise when he just ran me through, like he said, what ultimately ended up being 19, 20 reps on 105-pound dumbbells. So just jump into it.
Get your 5 to 8. Good. Come on, let's work.
That's your brother.
Oh. One more good one, one more good one.
Okay.
Drive. There it is. Squeeze it for all it's worth at the top of every rep. All the tension on your chest, don't want to go to your shoulders. Good, Pat. Good. Come on, let's go. Good squeeze. 2 more. Get him out. Dig him out. Dig him out. Dig him out. There it is. Last one. Drive. Squeeze. There it is.
All right, guys, so this is just gonna be your standard cable fly. Obviously, with this free motion, it can be used a variation of different ways, but we're just gonna use traditional straight fly. And the objective on this, I don't know if you guys saw that, I had an Instagram post not long ago where Hunter was standing behind me. So the weight's not gonna be crazy because I'm just trying to target a specific part of my chest. And that goes along with what he said, you know, no movement, no motion. Because when he first showed me this, he told me to imagine basically letting my shoulders retract on my chest, my elbows, and that would do the movement for me. This way I'm not leaning forward and then taking the tension off my chest, because once you do that, it can actually transfer all throughout that part of your body. So I just want to target just right in there. So stand upright and just letting my elbows come back. That allows a proper movement. It don't require a lot of weight to get the job done with this.
It's really one of the better cues to keep in mind when you're training chest, is think about getting your elbow as far across your chest as you can every rep. Your elbow getting stretched and your elbow coming across your chest. That's the function of your pecs, to bring your arm across your body.
All right, guys, so now what we're gonna do, that kind of wrapped it up actually for chest. Ended with that fly movement, got a good amount of blood. The muscle definitely got worked. So now we're gonna transfer to shoulders. And we're gonna start with some side laterals, some dumbbells. So we're just gonna start with some 30 pounds, guys, nothing crazy. Like I said, just trying to target a specific part of the shoulder. I don't really want anything else getting involved. I don't want a lot of motion, just all tension on the medial delt.
You'll see when he's doing these, how his wrist is lower than his elbow. And at the very top, his elbow is equal with his shoulder. He's not ending up way up here, which is gonna create a big pinch in the shoulder. He's getting just to the top where that humerus reaches parallel with the ground. And if you'll keep an eye on something else also, his medial delt head is the head that is most upright the whole time. He's keeping the tension in that medial deltoid the whole time. A lot of people have a tendency to stay too leaned over or end up opening up whenever they get to the top and, you know, let the tension come off the medial delt, which is you're trying to train with this. So he does a really good job of keeping it where it's supposed to be the whole time.
I know this doesn't need a lot of explanation. How you got familiar with the Smith machine, but this is the tail end of the workout. It's gonna be the last movement. So something that's less impact. I'm just trying to target just that front head. Then, like I said, you'll notice I'm slightly leaning back just a little bit if the camera shows it, but that's only because if I'm completely upright, that's gonna put a lot of uncomfortable tension on the internal parts. So you don't wanna put stress on that shoulder girdle that's not necessary. So if you slightly lean back, a little bit of mind-muscle connection, then I'm targeting all right here. So you'll notice my hands are a little wider. So this way I get flexion at my elbow and the shoulder is able to move properly without being restricted as if my hands were a little closer. So of course I'm gonna get more unwanted tension on my elbow. Triceps will take a little bit of a beating there, but it's definitely gonna take away from my shoulder if I'm so compacted. All right, guys, that about wraps it up. I mean, that was a really good session. We got some good movements in. But some of the most useful thing for you guys is to, like I said, pay attention to all the tips throughout, talking about the form, the technique, proper way to target a muscle, because that's really what's going to affect you guys and your own training. Of course, we train different variations, different days. This is just kind of what would be an overall general push day. We just didn't hit rear delt, but those things, like I said, they'll get hit later in the week. But I just wanted to give you guys a good overview as to how we would normally train. Stay tuned, we'll have plenty more coming up. I'm getting prepping obviously for the 2019 Mr. Olympia contest. Hunter's on his way back to 100%. He haven't picked a show yet for 2020. Not yet, but you guys can obviously see that he's on the mend and getting back in the groove of things. So it's gonna be an exciting season for him. It's gonna be his rookie season. And I'll be right there when he's getting ready to take off. And it'll be just not before long you'll see us both on the Olympia stage. This is something we both talked about for some years now, and it's awesome to see it actually come to fruition. But until then, stay tuned. We'll keep you guys coming with some more content, and we'll see you on the next video.
And next time we do this, I will actually be training. That's a promise.
Yeah.
Won't just be spotting. So.